Hello, this is our Culinary Connection presentation.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Kyrell.
I'm Caleb.
So, looking at our menu, Alexis made chicken Alfredo, I made burgers, and then Caleb and Kyrell, they both made spaghetti and meatballs. Taking a look first at Alexis's chicken Alfredo. The story behind the meal, this was the first time Alexis had made food for other people. She would always have chicken Alfredo with her family during events, and it was a good way to make food with her mom and connect. How it's made? Firstly, cooking fettuccine pasta, then create a creamy sauce with butter, heavy cream, and Parmesan cheese. The sauce is then tossed in with the cooked pasta and cooked chicken. Further research on the meal, Alfredo de Lelio was the creator of this household dish. Alfredo was born in Rome in 1833 and got his start at his family restaurant in Piazza Rosa. Alfredo's wife gave birth to their eldest son, Armando. She became incredibly weak, so Alfredo wanted to create a dish that was easy to make and easy to eat. The steps that Alfredo took to create this: he prepared some fettuccine using semolina dough and mixed it with fresh butter and Parmesan cheese. She liked it so much that she insisted on having it put in the family restaurant. What I learned about Alexis. I learned that Alexis is in fact from the South, and chicken Alfredo is a nice, easy dish that they would make for any occasion. She has a very good connection with her mom, and they do that kind of stuff together. One of which is making chicken Alfredo. My favorite part of the meal. This was the first connection that we had as a group. My favorite part was connecting with my group members and eating a dish that I enjoy. I eat chicken Alfredo all the time, and this was a very good rendition of it. And then my rating, I would say I would give it a 4-star. I'm very critical, giving anything like a 5-star review. But it was still a very good meal, very good experience overall. I would give it a solid 4 stars.
All right, so now on to Ryan's burgers that he made for us. So the story behind this is that growing up, Ryan's father would always make burgers on the grill for him and his family. So for this connection, he wanted to do the same thing for us. So how he made it was that he preheated a pan on the stove for about 350, and then once it was heated up enough, he took the prepaid patty meat out of the container and placed them inside the pan. So he let them cook for about 5 minutes, like on each side. Every 5 minutes he would flip the burgers to make sure they were well cooked, and once that was well cooked, he put some monster cheese on top for that to cook into the burger, for it to give it more flavor. And then once the patty was fully cooked, he placed the burgers on the buns and he served them to us. So this is a spiel of further research on hamburgers that I found. I found how it was first invented, how it came to be. Several people are credited for inventing the hamburger, but this is like our history of how hamburgers came to be and how they were popularized. So what I learned from the culture of what Ryan made for his hamburgers was that this was his first time ever making this meal for people other than his family. And he and his family usually make burgers for like special occasions such as 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, and etc. But I would have to say my favorite part of the meal was the monster cheese, for sure, because it really brought the flavor to the burger that it needed. Now, when he was cooking it, I was a little concerned. He didn't have like ketchup or mustard or anything, so I was like, Ryan, where's the condiments? He's like, oh, you're not gonna need them. You're not gonna need them. The cheese is gonna bring the flavor. So I was like, okay. The burger might be a little dry. I'm kind of scared, but I stepped back, trust the process, and for sure he proved me wrong. The cheese definitely brought the flavor to the burger that it needed, and you definitely put me onto something, Ryan, because I'm about to start using that cheese much more often when I cook burgers. So overall, I would give this meal 5 stars, mainly because of the cheese, but for the experience overall, I would give it 5 stars because we had great conversations around the table and I got to know my group members a lot more.
Now we'll be talking about Caleb's spaghetti and meatballs. Story behind his meal. He said it was a straightforward meal, easy to make. It reminded him of times sitting down because we also watch TV. So he had a little moment that reminded him of shows that he watched with his dad. It was car events like NASCAR, car shows, and car modifications. How to make spaghetti and meatballs. I feel like it was a straightforward meal. The ingredients would need was pots and trays because he had pre-made meatballs already. So he decided to put them in the oven and set a timer to make sure. The other ingredients that are needed are tomato sauce, depending if you like tomato sauce or meat sauce, or the meat sauce that has meatballs pre-made in it already. Further research on the meal, spaghetti and meatballs is not a traditional Italian meal. It was served separately. The meatballs are on the side with no pasta. The dish was created by Italian immigrants in America in the 1900s. Meat was a lot cheaper in the U.S., so it allowed the Italian immigrants to make bigger meatballs and combined it with the pasta. Tomato sauce became popular because the tomatoes were easier to get in America. Also, the dish became famous through Italian-American restaurants and now is a classic American-Italian meal. What I've learned about them, or what I learned about Caleb and his dish is it brought joy because it made good memories for him and his father. So that was a special moment for me. And just to hear him say that, well, the favorite part of the meal was just being able to sit down with my group mates and just talk about memories from when we were younger, about food and just in general. The overall meal experience, I'll give it a 5 out of 5 because it's just memories are important to me. That's also why I grew up, so I kind of related to him.
So I reviewed Kyrell's meal. Little story behind the meal. It was his first time cooking, and he figured that it would be the perfect first meal to give it a shot. And honestly, I think he did a great job. He boiled the water on the stove to put the spaghetti in, let it boil in the pot for about 15 to 20 minutes or so. Add the hot sauce, add the meat sauce, the red sauce, whatever it may be, and the meatballs once they're cooked. If they're pre-made or if they're store-bought, already pre-cooked, then you can put them in the microwave or the oven and cook them up that way, and then put it all together in a dish, complete. Further research on the meal, so originally the noodles originated in Arabic culture, and from there they made their way around through places like China. They found their way to the U.S. eventually with Italian immigrants, and the pasta itself was actually popularized in Italy. And then when it found its way to the U.S., it was villainized for a while, but then after World War II, it became a staple dish in America for modern homes. What I learned from their culture, from what I could tell, Kyrell's really values togetherness and ensuring everyone's accommodated as best as possible. I saw a lot of high currency on respect and courtesy as he pretty much greeted every single one of us individually when we walked through the door. My favorite part of the meal was sitting around having a conversation with all my group members because I haven't been able to make it to all of them. So it was great to finally get to meet everyone and enjoy time with each other, especially talking about football. Even though as a Steelers fan, the draft wasn't too good to me. But other than that, it was a great meal. Overall, I gave it a 5 out of 5, 5 stars. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. It was pretty good, pretty easy to satisfy. That was a pretty good meal. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.